What's up, guys? Lou here, and I'm out in LA, as you know, for Vidcon, but I also wanted to use this trip as an opportunity to link up with one of my favorite artists right now, right over here. Can you believe it? He came out to do an interview. That's pretty hardcore. This man is called Jenova 7. And you may have heard his music in some of my recent videos right here on the Beast Feed, including the Underground video. And as a backdrop for a couple different vlogs. We're going to work together more often, and I'm really impressed with his stuff. And so I thought, hey, if we could link up while I'm out here and do a little interview, give him a proper introduction to you guys so you might, visit his SoundCloud page and start to enjoy some of the stuff I'm enjoying musically. So I thought it would be a good idea to link up, have a few beverages too. We're drinking something called Stone IPA, which is a recommendation of his. I've never had it before. It's out of California. It's from North County, San Diego. It's got some citrus flavor. You guys know I'm into my beer and into my beverages in general. And this one does not disappoint. We've got a few more to go through. But we're also going to conduct an interview. Let's get straight into it. So, let me ask you first. How long have you been making music for?
Roughly 6 years. What I'm doing now is what you'd consider down-tempo jazz, trip-hop. And that's probably been in the making for about 2 years. So, pretty short time that I've been doing this.
Right.
Started off doing more guitar playing. Mixed with hip-hop production. I suppose that's where the trip-hop came from, because trip-hop is a blend of genres. It can be any genre. It can be jazz, it can be soul, it can be funk.
Right.
I mean, in the end, it becomes its own recontextualized piece. But
sure.
I think that is probably why I became a trip-hop artist, because of the diverse background. I picked up a guitar because I was inspired by watching videos of Jimi Hendrix playing live. It just blew me away. I went to a college that he played at in 1968. My dorm room was right across the street from the stage that he played at. So
very cool.
I got to look at that every day, and it was kind of surreal watching the footage of him playing at that exact event, which you can find on YouTube if you look up.
Sure. I'll link it below if I can find the clip he's talking about.
He lit the guitar on fire and everything at the spot. So
wild.
It was almost like I could hear the echoes or something.
Sure.
But probably 6 years before that, I wasn't really making music.
Now, something I want to mention to you guys about Jenova 7's music, if you haven't listened to it yet or you didn't notice it in my previous videos, is it makes fantastic music for video content, like you might be making right here on YouTube. So I'll probably splice some of it into this video right here, and there's obviously going to be links down in the description. And if you're feeling anything, all you got to do is reach out to this man, and he's open to work with all kinds of individuals and all kinds of different projects, which is fantastic, which is part of the reason that we hooked up this interview here to begin with. So anyways, I'm going to move into question number 2, but I would like to have another beverage. And you are the man with the bottle opener. Do you have that on you right now? Okay, perfect. So question number 2 that I wanted to ask you about was musical influences. Because your stuff seems to draw influence from a number of different locations. It's obviously, like you said, there's a jazz element. There's a hip-hop element. Well, there's a lot of elements. What kind of music did you listen to growing up to build this magnificent stuff that you build right now?
I listen to as many genres as possible. So the inspiration, I feel like for many trip-hop artists as well, not just myself, not to speak for them, but I think that many of them would agree that they're inspired by many different genres. And I think that's where the line of genre kind of becomes looser. It's like to be a trip-hop artist, you have to kind of recognize music as music, and ultimately it's just an aspect of art.
Sure.
Just like writing, painting, it's just an aspect of art. So every genre. I mean, I kind of mentally, my music tends to...
Who comes to mind? Like if I said, listen, and this is a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be, it's the stranded, it's the desert island question right now. If you're going to be on an island, you got yourself a Discman. Yes, you guys remember those Discmans. If you had a Discman and you're only allowed to have 5 discs or 3 discs with you, what are those discs going to be? And I didn't give him any time to prepare on this. This stuff is on the spot so that you guys know. I'm just trying to keep it exciting. You've only got 3 discs, 3 albums to live with for the rest of your existence on this deserted island. Okay, what are they going to be? I mean, you got to say something, because let me tell you, I'm going to send you out there right now. You've got to decide.
All right, I'm on the island. All right,
you're there.
All right, okay. One of them is very easy, and I'll open with that. Okay,
go for it.
DJ Shadow's Introducing. It seems like a pretty typical response from trip hop artists, but to be honest, it's rightfully so, because that was the first album to come out with to be entirely composed from samples, and there's sort of a philosophical aspect to that. Like, you're recontextualizing the past, you're paying homage to artists from the past, but you're adding new context to it. You're making it relevant, to the present day.
Right.
So DJ Shadow's Introducing, hands down, it was the definition of trip hop. It caused journalists to create the word trip hop.
Yeah.
And that was 1993. So it's almost been 20 years.
For sure.
It's pretty crazy.
For sure.
So that's one album that I could always listen to.
All right.
The second one is a Jimi Hendrix album. Like I said, I just mentioned Jimi Hendrix. He's my favorite artist.
That's a big swing, dude.
I was about to say, I'm kind of mentally trapped. Like, the favorite, if I had to pick a favorite, it would be music from the 60s and 70s. Right. I don't know why. I'm trapped in that vintage sound.
Those are very good answers, man. And I think it's smart to have musical variation in those picks.
Yeah.
Because, exactly, if you pick, 3 albums from the same genre, then, it gets old real quick. Remember, you're there for the rest of your life on that island. I've asked that question on Twitter before, and I want to ask that same question to you guys. Drop it down in the comments below. If you could pick 3 records, 3 albums, 3 musical acts that you could bring with you on a deserted island to listen to forever, what would those albums be? Like I said before, let me know down in the comment section below. Now, I got another question for you. I know you recently came out here to LA. You're previously from Boston.
Yep.
And
East Coast.
You told me originally that you were into film prior to being into music. And something I want to ask you right now, because I know you've made films before, is which for you is the more impactful art form? Would it be music or would it be moving pictures?
That's such a difficult question.
If you could only,
I can answer.
I'm going to simplify it. I'm going to make it much more specific for you.
All right.
If you could only do one or the other. He makes videos, guys. I'm going to link his channel, his YouTube channel, along with his SoundCloud link down below. You can check out some of his films that he's made. Yeah, the question stands. If you could only focus on one as a full-time job, if Jenova 7 was one or the other, would you be a filmmaker or would you be a music producer?
Yeah, I'd be a filmmaker for sure.
He'd be a filmmaker.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's simply the fact that my music, if you listen to my music, you'll catch a lot of references to film. Some of the titles of my songs, just a simple reference as that, just the song title, references films. I think that film, having the visual medium, adds a whole nother aspect to it. And I think that's why I love to direct my own music videos, but you can still have music. I mean, sound is half of the film, essentially. I mean, in some cases, the soundtrack, is even better. Even better than the actual film. Yeah. Cool World, for example. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely say filmmaking, just because I can incorporate what I do. I can use trip hop music, and it can have an entirely new. I mean, you mentioned it just now. You said that the style of music is perfect for adding to video.
It is,
and it totally is, because it's more focused on instrumental. It doesn't necessarily have to be always instrumental, but it's definitely accessible, and not just in terms of the language barrier, which we were talking about before, but in terms of it applying to emotion. Like, it's not a genre of music that is meant to be taken lightly, that's meant to be passive and set in the background. There's a sense of dedication emotionally and mentally to it. And so I think I would definitely choose filmmaking because the trip hop music would only accentuate the images, and I can add even more power to it.
Right. Well, I mean, if I'm sure people agree with me that we don't want you to stop making music. So
never will.
So as long as there's no reason you can't do both. I was just putting you on the spot to find out where your head was at. But I'm sort of with you. Believe it or not, I used to toy around with some music production back in the day, and I think it's probably a common thing that people who are interested in the visual arts would also be interested in music. They're just so heavily intertwined, and so much of what I was personally influenced with growing up was that connection of both. That when you saw a movie or something and that music hit correctly at that particular point, that those are some of the most powerful moments that could possibly occur.
The moment in The Shawshank Redemption,
right,
when he's removing his clothes after climbing.
I know what you're talking about.
And there's a shot of him looking at the sky, and the camera rises, and that crescendo hits in the music. Without that music, yes, the moment would conceptually be effective. But that music, it really is a different form of artistic creation that really adds to the emotional effect of it and the resonance of it. It's the music. It's just art. Everything is art. Art is art. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Art is art.
This conversation is about to get real big.
We can go into a crazy philosophical debate. Not even a debate. We'd agree with each other.
But in truth, in order to sort of simplify what I think he's saying, I think that music sometimes is a more powerful form of communication than even words can be, or even visuals can be. And as a result, when you merge the sound with whatever it is you're watching in a movie or even a YouTube video for that matter, you can end up with something very special and very emotional for people to watch. Like I said, guys, head over to his page and check out what he's doing on video and check out what he's doing on music. And as I mentioned earlier in this particular interview, feel free to hit him up. Hit him up on SoundCloud. The guy's no joke. He'll get back to you right away. And he'll let you know if he can work with you on something. I know a lot of you guys produce your own stuff, like I said earlier in the show. And collaboration is really the key to success right now, today. You got to hook up with people of like mind and sort of cut through the noise and what's happening on the internet right now. So definitely get at this man and enjoy his music in the meantime. Anyways, that'll wrap it up right now. Great time out here in Anaheim. I'm out here for Vidcon, but this is the most exciting conversation I've had since I've been out here, and I'm sure that the Stone IPA had something to do with it. If you're near this beer, if this beer is in a local store, go check it out. Like I said, it's got a citrus flavor. It's perfect for the summertime. And I'm going to give you a cheers, and we're going to hit the road. And thanks for watching, and catch you on the next episode of the Beast Feed. Love you all. Later.